I am going to get hated for this. Not really. I don't know. I think a lot of people are starting to share the same sentiment that I have when it pertains to this particular topic. All right. Listen. I want to go ahead and say this right off the bat. When you lose by 20 points, 20, 30 points, whatever, blowout, it's never just one player's fault, okay? Never. It's never just one player's fault. It is a team effort, and the team let each other down. Now, you can have one or two guys that came to play, but most of the time when you lose by that big of a number, it's usually team effort. It is maybe a mixture of talent, but it's also a mixture of effort, mental stability during the game. So I will never pin one loss on one player, okay? So let me say that, all right? When I say what I'm about to say, I am not blaming this one player for this L. I would never do that, okay? Now, with that being said, Keldon, guys, I don't know what we're supposed to do here. Here's the thing, all right? With every player on our team, I can at least say with a lot of confidence that there's a reason for them to be on the court. Even if they're having a bad shooting night, if they're not facilitating as well as they normally do, if they're just off completely on the offensive end, there's always something that I can lean on, right? Champagnie, right? Champagnie's not like the best starter of all time. He's probably going to be an end of the bench type of guy, right? If the Spurs were to keep him, he'll be end of the bench. But he does space the floor. He opens things up because, you can't leave him open. And then when it comes to defense, he's decent. Okay, he's a decent on-ball defender, and every now and then he can give you a steal or two. So I see a reason for keeping him on the court. Sohan, same thing, right? He's more of a glue guy. I'm never expecting him to average a lot of points. I don't think he'll ever be that type of player. But defensively, there's a reason for him to be on the court. He plays tremendous defense. And in my opinion, he did a fine job on Luka tonight. So Sohan, there's a reason for you to be on the court. Trey Jones, he's basically the only point guard facilitator we have. Can he shoot? No, it looks like he's coming back down to earth. But at the same time, he's fine on that end. And then when it comes to defense, he's suitable. Okay, he's okay, especially for his size. You can't ask for too much there. Devin Vassell, same thing. He's a threat. Can't leave him open for three. Teams know that. And then defensively, he always comes to play. Like, he's been playing very well defensively. We looked at the numbers there. We looked at the metrics. But guys, Keldon Johnson is absolutely unplayable when he has this bad of a shooting night. People can sit back and they can say, well, why don't you point the finger at this player? Why don't you point the finger at this player? Why don't you point the finger at this player? And the thing is, he's our longest tenured Spur. He's been on the team longer than anybody. Of course, you should be a little bit more critical of somebody that's been on the team this long. And I think what frustrates me the most when it came to this game in particular, and many games, is that he seemed to take it upon himself when the Spurs were playing a completely different way. I've said this already. That last game that Keldon Johnson played, the beautiful W that the Spurs end up getting, I thought that was one of his best games of the season. And he didn't show out. It wasn't something that everyone was like, whoa, wow, he had a highlight play. He didn't have none of that. But I think that he played pretty well. Like, he played within the system. He distributed well. I think he went 4 for 8. Not perfect, but it's fine. But it seems like his main mode is attack. It's like his main mode, his first go-to, his first thought is attack. That first shot in which he just jacked it up in the paint, you could see Sohan kind of be like, what are you doing? Like, come on. Like, I mean, they weren't arguing. It wasn't no, controversy there or anything like that. But Sohan was kind of like, what are we, come on, man. Like, get your head in the game. It was like, what are we doing? Because the team was distributing very well during this game. And that's what frustrates me. It felt like he put it upon himself to play hero ball when we didn't need him for that. I'm okay for him playing hero ball when we're already down by 20, right? Like, he had a lot of open threes. I'm not mad at him for taking those open threes or whatever. But for a big chunk of it, it was just like, dude, this is a close game. We're up right now, okay? We don't have to play here. Just distribute the ball. Distribute it. But he took it upon himself like, no, I'm gonna do my own thing. And what frustrates me the most is that there's no other area in Keldon Johnson's game that he makes up for it. He can't make up for it. And I feel like it will be irresponsible of me at this point to not just blatantly just call it how it is when it comes to Keldon. Because I feel like part of me have been kind of like holding back sometimes, only because obviously like people love Keldon and he's a fun guy. He's nice. And I like Keldon too. Like, I genuinely do like Keldon. It's not like one of those, I'm sorry, it's like I'm holding a baby right now. It's not like the DeJounte Murray situation, right? Like, I as a character, like his character wise, I didn't really feel him that much. And then on top of it, you top it with the way he played on court. I didn't think that it was very suitable for long-term success. But with Keldon, it hurts more for me to say this because I genuinely do like Keldon. But you got to be honest, man. This is bad. This is really bad. This is not good. You okay? She can tell I'm upset. It's not good, guys. Like, I don't know what else we supposed to do here. It's just he's taking it upon himself to do this. In this game, it's like the basketball, his basketball awareness isn't there. Sorry, I get kind of distracted with my cat here. His basketball awareness isn't there, man. There was no reason in this game for him to take it upon himself early in this game like this. Oh, Brandon, what did you say? The majority of the team was bad in this game and KJ still stood out. I hope the Spurs can move him for some value this offseason. Also, your cat providing emotional support is adorable. Yeah. She's gone away now. I tagged you in a Twitter post regarding Devin's field goal percentage improvement since last season. I think I saw it. We'll have to go over that. But yeah, it's like I said, man, I can actually sit back and say there's a reason for most of these guys to be on the court. Now, as far as Zach Collins, I can't really defend him that much. I'll be real with you. But at the same time, he's not really a center. And yeah, I just can't defend him that much, to be real. Osman, I don't think he'll be here. Graham, a lot of these guys, I just don't think they'll be here. But Keldon, dude, I don't see how we can be so bad and the team as a whole can look so bad, but yet and still Keldon Johnson is the one where we're like, what the heck? And the reason why 1-4-11 stands out so bad, guys, because someone said it, like, why does it stand out? It stand out so bad because he's so poor defensively. And I think that a lot of people watch Keldon and he emotionally makes them feel well. Like, he came to the team at a time where we potentially could still be winning. So I think people still have kind of that, I mean, I don't know if it's long enough to say nostalgia, but sort of nostalgia towards Keldon. He shows so much emotion. He has these highlight plays here or there. He has these one or two plays that stand out, and people love him for it because he's so emotional. But I'm sorry, like, just because he's emotional, just because he's showing heart, doesn't mean that that's good basketball. His basketball decisions are abysmal. Like, it's overwhelming how bad it is when he's this late in his career, or at least 5 years into his career. It shouldn't be this bad. He doesn't allow the game to come to him at all. I mean, it was inevitable in this game that he was going to have a poor shooting performance the way that he came out the gate. There was no reason for him to come in the game the way he came in the game. Every time he touched the ball, it was like, oh, I'm going for the paint. It's like, what are we doing, man? He did it like 2 in a row, and then he just jacked up a bunch of threes. Some of threes were wide open. I'm not mad at it. But then that's the thing, too. It's like teams can just kind of leave them open. It's just that's my takeaway in this game, man. I think it's to a point where I've seen enough of it. It's not just this game. It's not just this season. It's the whole career. I don't think that Keldon has made big enough of a leap for me to be excited for the future. And nor do I think that he fits with this team right now. I just don't. He seems like sometimes it feels like Keldon is on like another planet. Like he's in his own island while the rest of us are distributing the ball. It was very frustrating, and that would bother me the most. Like I said, not saying that the loss is all on him. Obviously, you don't lose by this many points and it's all on Keldon. Nor would I say that all the games this season is on Keldon. But I am very worried for the Spurs to have a championship playoff caliber team. And if you have to have Keldon Johnson in late game, in a late game rotation, what he'll do. He's a momentum killer at times. When you see a Keldon drive, you know it's not getting passed out. And that's what's frustrating, because the game prior to this, he passed the ball out plenty. He played within the confines of the team. And this isn't anything new, by the way. I was just hoping that over time that he could change his mindset. I don't know. Maybe it's just like who he is as far as a player. Because he did the same thing with Kentucky. He was the same player with Kentucky. He definitely killed the momentum night. As soon as he came in, dude. It's frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. He let me down. He let me down, guys. Not only did he let me down tonight, but he let me down the other night too. On Prize Picks. That was a terrible segue. I don't know. Big shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring this video, sponsoring the live stream, sponsor the channel. Great stuff, good stuff, wonderful stuff. This was actually one of mine from the other day. You can see that Keldon Johnson, all he needed was 2 more points, and he screwed me over. That's what this entire segment was. Yes, Bevan. This is what this entire segment was really about. This is what it was really. No, it wasn't. No, honestly, I am genuinely disappointed with Keldon Johnson. But let me tell you guys a little bit about Prize Picks, okay? I'll just show you how it's done. You go over to Prize Picks, and there's 2 different modes here, okay? There's 2 different modes. I call them modes. You got the demons and you got the goblins. What does that mean? Well, you can't see it. Well, the demons, that means that's a risky one, right? That's a pretty risky one. And the goblins, that mean it's an easy one. You could probably win that one pretty easily. So if we see down here, you scroll down, for instance, DeAndre Ayton getting more than 20 points, that gets a demon. And the demon, that would just give you a higher multiplier. So you can win more, essentially. So really great stuff there. You guys need to go check it out. Link in my description. You'll get 100% deposit match up to $100. Just use my code SPURSCLAN when you are making your account. Or please, for the love of God, use the link in my description, link below. Click it, and yeah, you support the sponsors. You're supporting me, so it means the world to me there. All right. Keldon really let me down. I'm not gonna lie. He really let me down. Devin had a bad game tonight, but I'm not ready to say goodbye. No. Devin, his defense and his here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. Just like characters in movies, right? We all love 3-dimensional characters. Why? Because there's more. There's something underneath the surface. All right. There's more that they bring to the table than just one note. And you look at Devin Vassell. He's a 3-dimensional character. Okay. When his shooting isn't going, when his 3 isn't going, he can still facilitate. He can still run the pick and roll effectively. He can still play good defense. He still has things to his game. Now, when you look at guys that's just one-dimensional, you better be really good at that one-dimensional thing, and that's the problem with Keldon. He's very one-dimensional. one-dimensional. It is, if I'm not scoring, there's not much else I can do. That's it. If I'm not scoring, that's it. And that's fine if you're a role player and you're like a specialty player. But I don't consider Keldon a specialty player because he's too streaky defensively. I mean, too streaky. No, he's not streaky defensively. He's just bad defensively. But he's too streaky. Oh, my God. He's too streaky from the three-point line behind the arc. He's too streaky. So he's not necessarily a specialty player. I think Keldon would benefit way more if he was on a team that had defenders surrounding him. And, you know, he was just on the bench unit helping out maybe a championship team or a playoff caliber team or something like that. He needs to be on a team that surrounds him with defenders. And we're just not that right now. And as we're rebuilding, I would much rather see other guys get those minutes, get that playing time, and we fill that spot than anything else. Devin Vassell, I'm not quick enough to say trade him, especially if the trade is something in the ballpark of, I don't know, for like I don't. It's nothing really on the table that I can think of that I would really trade Devin Vassell for right now, unless it was for like straight up give us Trae Young, like Devin Vassell and a couple picks for Trae Young. Like, yeah, of course I would do that, but I don't know. I don't think this is a super easy spot to fill with what Devin Vassell is bringing to the table. He could very well end up being a suitable, mind you, third option on a playoff caliber team. Be a really good one at that. I could even see him coming off the bench and being a really good scorer off the bench as well. Vassell and Sohan are showing growth this year. Keldon hasn't up to this point. That's the difference. Exactly. Yeah. Vassell has undoubtedly showed growth this year. Sorry. I didn't want to be mean, but I had to be honest.